Hello.
Mickey's
Hello,
dancing
hello.
already.
Hello, hello. Guess who? Hello and welcome to episode 39 of Carvers and Creators, a weekly demonstration and discussion with pumpkin carvers, sculptors, and multi-talented artists. We humbly ask that you please consider giving us a like and a follow on the platform you're watching us on. And please let us know in the comments where you're watching from and if you have any questions for the carvers and our special guest. My name is Michael Mondragon. I'll be running the show, moderating comments, and chiming in from time to time. Let's meet the carvers. First, he is an artist and sculptor from Boston, Massachusetts. He's the 2019 champion of Food Network's Outrageous Pumpkins. Paul Dever, welcome.
Happy Thursday, everybody.
Welcome, Paul.
Yeah.
Ollie.
Next, he's a multimedia sculpture artist from Tucson, Arizona, and a finalist on Halloween Wars 2019 on the Food Network, Matt Harper.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
God bless.
A very polite golf clap.
I golfed today.
Our returning guest is a potter, illustrator, and sculptor creating one-of-a-kind oddness from Carrollton, Georgia, the Big Duluth, Ron Free. Welcome.
There he is. In the flesh.
Hey, Ron.
Thank you
Howdy,
for
guys.
returning.
Hey, yes.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Glad to have you. So let's look at our carves from last week, Matt. So the topic was befuddled non-face. So
Very tough.
Yeah, so this was a struggle. I think this is probably the hardest, Paul, that we've, I mean, if you have to get something that is not a face, that's the first time I think we've done something that doesn't have any facial expression on it that I can think of, right?
Yeah.
And so then you add an expression to something that doesn't have a face, and it makes it even harder. So I didn't know what the hell to do, so I started carving like a torso, and then I added some arms and hands, and was like, I guess he's befuddled because he's
No, I
missing
like
his head. So anyway, that was my thought.
Reasonable.
I'll tell you what, we should have split it up into two. It should have been a non-face was the carve, and then befuddled was us.
Yes.
I was lost for the longest time.
well, let's see your lost carve. It doesn't look befuddled to me. I mean, you didn't look befuddled, but your result is awesome. I love it.
It is.
Nice.
Thanks. There is kind of a face in there. I kind of was trying to shoot for see the Elvis-y, like I use the wrinkle as kind of like the,
I totally see it. Yeah.
see it? Kind of like a,
It's got an eyebrow
really
even.
Cool.
He's
But
even
it's
got
nice.
that kind of curved eyebrow.
yeah. But so if you see a face, that's on you. But I didn't
It's all in the interpretation, right?
face in the interpretation.
Yes. And then our guest, Christina, this was
Yeah,
her
very
carve.
cool. Very cool.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
super
assery. That was beautiful.
That's like 9. That's got to be like 9 different squashes.
Yeah, it's a Franken squash.
A befuddled
it's-
Franken squash.
It's
No, it came out
sure,
great.
it sure came out into a beautiful sculpt though.
Yeah,
It
so I
is
love
nice.
the flow. Very cool. Super
Mhm.
And then
stuff.
in the end, a great picture. So
It's a really good
that's-
picture, yeah.
At the very end, very great lighting too.
You know what's
So-
even more befuddled would be kids when they look at that because they have no idea what an antique phone is.
Right.
They don't know.
Wait,
what
Mickey, can I tell you what my daughter, when I showed my youngest, who's
Yeah.
8th grader, what she thought it was? She thought it was a churro wearing a hat. And I go, no, the bottom is the dial. Oh, one of those old phones. I'm like,
Yep. Art
they
is
just
in
don't,
the
they
eye
don't
of
even
the
know.
beholder.
They've never seen it. Yeah,
Right.
never.
Yeah, they don't know. That's awesome. Came out great.
It's like seeing an old friend, that phone for me, because I'm probably the oldest one here, right?
I'm not even going to answer that question.
I,
I'm the
I
youngest.
don't know
one. What am
about that.
It does look like Lumiere.
No, I don't know. I'll duke you out for it, Ron. But Ron was actually here. So here's a fun fact. We actually started the wheel on episode 11. Ron was on episode
Wow.
12.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
So
That's right. Yep.
So Ron is used to wheel work in his work. So let's make this wheel work to see what work we will work on.
What?
Oh my God, Mickey.
That was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear
Nice.
all over again. Amazing.
So
Red
Paul,
leather, yellow
why
leather.
don't you see what we're going to be carving tonight?
The
There it
wheel.
is.
the wheel has been a fickle foe lately. We've swapped out non-face, obviously. That'll never be back for a while. We've thrown in choice, so if it lands on choice, maybe we'll give Ron free range of what we carve for the evening. We've added skull and primate. We haven't carved many monkeys and stuff like that. That's usually a fun one that you would do if you had choice, right? So
yeah.
I need a softball, guys. I'm going on vacation tomorrow. I can't. I can't be working on this thing till 2 in. So, but that's where we're at. We got a lot of the same emotions, and they're all a challenge. So if you're going to carve along with us, don't think we're mailing it in by any stretch of the imagination. Because each one I look at this gives me a different kind of anxiety.
Yes. Rightfully so.
Should we spin?
Go
Shall
primate.
Shall we?
I will wish primate into existence, Ron, for you. Oh, I got a different purple. It's a zombie. I went for the other purple. Nah, my ESP's off.
Oh, that's
all right. So let's go. I hope we get a flirty zombie. That'd be so
Good spin.
No, we can't do befuddled again.
Yeah, we can't do befuddled.
Yeah, that's
right. We got to respin. That was
Spin
last
again.
week.
I got
too soon.
Pennies to the back of this thing or something.
Too soon.
Befuddled again.
A doubly befuddled zombie.
Okay.
Gotta be befuddled zombie.
It's
the wheel has spoken
twice.
Yeah, it says you must do this.
It says that.
And the wheel has a stutter apparently because it's befuddled.
Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all, folks.
Wow, a befuddled zombie.
God, man. Help me out here. Ron, stop laughing. It's not that funny. It's very stressful.
Ron, we're hurting over here, okay? And you're making light of this is not good. Actually, I take that back. Ron's got to make a befuddled zombie, so we're all on.
That's
we're all
true.
on this thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
we ride the same boat.
This is it.
This
is
rigged.
not going to be good.
Yeah, Ryan, completely rigged. I
Totally
Ryan, agree.
It's rigged against us.
Do it. Seriously.
It's really not the right way to rig something.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Oh.
So if you're carving with us, if you're drawing, doing whatever, we're going to give you 5 minutes to grab your tools, pumpkin, squash, perishable item, piece of paper, chalkboard, spray paint, tag. You can go outside and tag if you like.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. We'll go to the grade school and tag the walls.
Erase
But
it.
while you do that, we're going to actually toast our creations tonight. I'll start out with Paul. Paul, what do you got to...
I'm like throwing me on the spot again, Mick. The big deal.
Let's go to Matt.
No.
Oh, hey,
Back to Paul.
back to Paul.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I will be drinking Wicked Easy from Sam Adams. It's a light and hazy lager. It's 4.7 alcohol, 12 fluid ounces, and 12 IBUs, which I believe doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's
No. It's like negative.
One IBU for every ounce, so that doesn't. Yeah.
That's a terrible IBU ratio.
Yeah.
If I do
Is
say
IBU hops? Is that what, IBU?
It's how hoppy it is. So if it's 100, it's going to be super hoppy.
Okay.
So
Well,
12 is very
you
low.
might have picked the wrong beer. All right.
you would love a Wicked Easy. Oh, why do you
Yeah.
gotta like it super high IBU?
400 IBU. That's right.
That beer is probably what they call crushable, which means it just suck it back. Good.
Let's
Do
get
it.
something straight.
Do it, Paul.
All beers are crushable if you're
Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Stick the pen in
Did
it.
you know
Let's
that
do it.
all vitamins are chewable, by the way. Did you know that?
That's a
Some
good
just
point.
taste really bad, but they're
Right.
all, anyway.
Matt, what do you got?
I got a Modern Times
Oh,
Dank Nelson
Dank?
IPA.
Oh,
how did you
yeah.
not know it was going to be high on the IBUs when it was called dank?
Well,
Isn't that a weed thing?
it does sound terrible, and it's 60 IBUs.
Oh, Jesus.
That's
That's
marginal.
got, and it's got a fine. It's got a anyway. I don't know what else these other numbers are, and I don't care. So I'm just gonna drink it.
What's the final gravity, please? The world wants to
final
know.
gravity. It's on here. It's 1.010.
Yes,
Is that more than the moon?
it's.
Yeah, that means I can fly.
That's crazy. Where'd you find that beer?
See, I know too much about beer. Ron, are you having anything tonight? And if so, are you drinking out of anything special?
Well, I'm sadly just having 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen, but
Ah.
I will have it in my mug.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
That thing's awesome.
Love it.
One of a kind mug that beats. I guess you can put whatever you want in it when it's your mug. That makes all the
That's
difference.
True. That's
Love
true.
it, Mickey.
So, Matt, I saw that you were having a modern times beer. So, I actually have a collaboration with Society Brewing Company and Modern Times, and it's a Banish Madness, and it's a
What the hell?
yeah. So it's they have like seasonal collab beers, and it's really good. And let's see what it is. Strata, Cashmere, and Citra hops. So
Wow.
3 of my favorites. So
Look at
so I'm
that.
gonna like that a lot.
Awesome.
Well,
All right,
cheers.
so we got a toast. Here we go, and this is also a toast for Paul. Safe travels tomorrow, my friend. Paul's coming out to AZ.
I'm coming out. I'm coming to see the boys Saturday. Cheers.
There you go. Cheers.
Yeah, that's super.
Oh
cool.
wow!
All right. So
That's been getting kicked in the ribs.
All right, so let's spin the wheel again.
There we go.
spin again.
Let's see what we're making.
So Ron, last time you were on, I remember it very vividly. There was a point that we looked at this, and
Yes.
Matt and Paul got tool envy. So do you still have all of these tools, or have you expanded on it, or?
The collection has grown since that.
Okay.
I'm pretty picky, but I have found a number of different things. I tend to lean towards, used vintage stuff. And so I found some older, different tools that it may not work great for pumpkins, but it works really well for clay. So, little fine little detail tools and things of that sort. So, yeah, my habit continues.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Good.
It's fantastic.
Now, the part I still can't believe is how damn OCD clean that thing is.
It's really, that's when you take the picture, and it's not necessarily that.
And it doesn't go back to that for a while. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, I actually have a little turnstile now. I keep some of my most popular ones that I use in there. So,
Okay.
It's just the way it is. So
Beautiful.
Nice. And then is your work area, is this one different than the one that you're in now?
Yes, that's my wheel. And that's kind of like a little bit in construction, so it's a little bit more expanded beyond that now. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's kind of my little space, my little corner of my studio that I have
nice.
that, and it's not as clean now. It's kind of hard to stay that way when you're doing making pottery. So,
And there's clay. Yeah.
So
So
Ron,
Ron, I don't know if I asked you this question before. Do you? I usually blast music either in my headphones or when no one's home in the room. Do you crank music? And if so, what do you listen to?
I have a wide spectrum of interest. I would say, I love listening to the Pixies. Things of that sort.
Boston down.
But there's some jazz music in there at times. That I like to participate in, and I don't know, some avant-garde stuff. Just because I'm that kind of guy.
What's
mood
avant-garde? What would be considered
sorry?
avant-garde? What would be considered avant-garde?
Negative Land.
Okay.
The Residents.
The Resident.
Things of that sort.
Wow. All right.
I'm big into Mike Patton, John Zorn,
Okay.
things of that sort.
Wow.
So like the Mike Patton like side projects and stuff like that, Mr. Bungle and
Yeah. I've been a fan for a very long time, and I've got a lot of stuff.
oh, right on. I saw Mr. Bungle in 1995, 4 or 5.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. I never, unfortunately, I've seen Faith No More live, but never had the chance to see them.
Yeah.
But no, with Tomahawk and
Tomahawk's awesome too.
I've listened to what Dead Cross is one of the newer projects.
Okay.
Of his, and it's it's very wide ranging. Let's put it that way. So that's what I like about it. You never know what you're going to expect. So,
yeah,
but
that's cool.
What about you, Mickey? What are you into lately?
Oh, that's a very good question. So one of my my music taste is actually kind of skewed. I mean, when working at the record store, I got to expose to so many more different bands than I would have had I just listened to the radio or MTV or anything like that. So, but like I have this really real love for like synth pop, like I guess like Depeche Mode and Duran Duran were like my bands back in the day. But then stuff like Matt and I loved Tool and stuff like that, so it was always like kind of like
right.
And then so like those when there's a band that does like that type of stuff, that like kind of synth pop, but like super hard. It's like it kind of clashes. It's like right in the middle. I love that type of thing. There's a few bands that are doing that, and you probably wouldn't actually know of them if I told it to you. But yeah, I'm really enjoying like just. And music has kind of come a long way. I mean, like I love hip hop and stuff like that too. So it's like whenever that's mixed in, and there's a lot of bands right there. They're probably not mainstream bands. So, but yeah, I mean, like my core, like for instance, there was actually, and I'm probably gonna get hazed for this. There's so many bands out there that like there's a band called there was a band from the late '90s. It was called Nitzareb.
Oh yeah.
Are you familiar with
yeah.
them?
Yes.
I just they were the last band. They just played. They had like a 30-year reunion recently here in LA, and then
cool.
so I went to. That was like the last concert I went to. And I saw Nitzareb open for Depeche Mode in 1990. So
that's cool. Wow.
yeah, but and, I mean they're one of those kind of bands that just like this. It's like industrial thrash, like crazy rock. It's like it was at the time it was just two guys. It sounds like about 100. One of those types of bands. Yeah. So,
like Skinny Puppy.
Yeah. Skinny Puppy is a great example of that. Like Front 242 and, not so much KMFDM, but,
right.
But Nine Inch Nails was kind of like a hybrid
Ministry?
of all that.
Like the old Ministry?
Ministry is awesome. And when Ministry first came out, they were super like poppy, nothing.
Oh yeah, different album.
I've seen that. Yes.
Yeah, and then Mind is a Terrible Thing to Taste is all that came out and
that's a great album. I mean, I remember seeing them. I think Mickey, we saw them at Lollapalooza in Phoenix.
Yep.
Ministry and it was really awesome. He had his mic stand. He had an entire spine. I think it was like from a cow or something like that, all the way up it, and he sang into a skull.
Yes,
and it was just
cool.
Awesome.
It was the awesome part about it, like they had like chain link fence, and there was two drummers behind the chain link fence, and it was just like people are just throwing shit, and it was like Matt and I have seen so many legitimately crazy shows. Like there's times when like we realistically like our lives were in danger, but it was I mean, talk about like rock and roll. It was like that was it. I mean, we were 20, we didn't know that stuff was dangerous. We just went with it. So
I went to see Gore one time.
Oh, Gore!
I have an awesome story about Gore. So please go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just gonna say. I mean, yeah, that was an experience.
Yes, so Gore is awesome. If you're not familiar with Gore, they were actually I think the story is that they were all like brought here. They were it was like from Antarctica. They were frozen from Antarctica, and then by a guy named Sleazy P. Martini. That was and so he toured them around and stuff like that. So that was the story, and they all come out there. I think the one guy's Odorous Arungus or
Odorous Arungus, yeah. Yeah.
And so they were awesome, and they're almost like these prehistoric like just monsters, and they were just doing rock and roll. Now, the greatest thing about Matt, did you go to Guar? It was at the Devil House actually.
I've seen Guar.
Okay.
I don't think I saw him there, but I've seen him.
Okay, so there was a band that opened for Guar, okay, but it was actually Guar as another band. So literally, they opened for themselves, and they were called the X Cops, and just X Cops. And the guy comes out, and he's like this fat hillbilly like sheriff, and he was singing. But they're all, and then one guy's like has like kind of like the gimp hood and everything. But they were actually like the story was that they were thrown off the force for excessive, brutality, and they just became a band. And it was like that. So they basically opened for themselves.
Wow.
And it was
funny.
awesome. And then,
cool.
and then real quick, the later on when I was doing wrestling, I actually wrestled for a group called Lucha Vavoom. Lucha Vavoom was run by two women actually, and it was super cool. And it was if you're not familiar with Lucha Vavoom, it was actually like Lucha Libre wrestling, but then like burlesque, and like they had like comedians that would talk over the matches and stuff like that. And it was it's super popular in LA. Well, I believe one of the women was she did like the outfits for Guar. So she's the one who made all of their outfits.
Big foam rubber outfits.
Yes. Yeah. I think it was one of them that owns that Lucha Vavoom. So there you go. So just give me Guar and I'll go.
Serious Guar info there. I love it. I just love a meat sandwich. That's really all I love. That's one band I really regret never getting to see.
Oh my God, they were amazing. There was another band called like Green Jelly,
Green Jello.
Green Jello.
I saw them.
Well, no, we saw Guello, which I think was a tribute band to Green Jello and Guar.
Oh no way!
Yeah, they were awesome. It was like the young guys with all the costumes, and they had the whole show, and the girls, and they would chase them around, and that was crazy.
Awesome. People are loving the meat sandwich. That Steve gets it. McFrazzle Stash, Guar rules. Yeah, and they were talking about Ministry before the New World Order, that album, and Jesus Built My Hot Rod. Yeah. That was later. That was later on, and
Gibby Hayes,
Butthole Surfers. Yeah, and actually, okay, let's go Gibby Hayes. So Gibby Hayes was in Butthole Surfers. He also created a are you ready for this? This is awesome. He had a side project, which was kind of like his electronic project, and it was called the Jack Officers. Yeah, and it was just a one-off. But I saw Butthole Surfers in Phoenix one time, and Gibby Hayes came out, and he had this, I don't know if it was a shotgun, whatever it was, he just came out and he just shot it. Was it?
Yes.
It can't be a real shotgun, but
I remember him shooting a beach ball that was going around, and they threw it up, and he shot it like off the stage. It broke it destroyed the beach ball, so something shot out of it. So
oh my god. Yeah, I just remember that was like one of the scariest things I'd ever. And it's weird because they opened for Stone Temple Pilots of all bands.
yes, I saw it that exact same show.
Oh, right on.
Oh wow.
We might be the same age.
Yeah. Well, I just turned over the 5-0, sir.
Oh boy, that's
So.
Boy, I hope to get there one day. Wink, wink. Awesome.
But, now you mentioned Depeche Mode too, right? So that's your own personal Jesus. It's one of my favorites.
Yes. See.
I've eaten my own personal pizza now and again.
You'll be here till 8:30. Tip your waiter and waitress.
Yeah, I saw. Actually, this might tell you how old I am too. I've seen Depeche Mode in 4 decades.
Oh wow.
Cut the shit.
That means you're at least 40.
Yeah, I'm at least.
That's
As
4
an
decades
infant-
to me.
As an infant, he was going to shows.
That's right. That's
But
right.
that means Depeche Mode is at least 6 decades old.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's like I'm trying to think of another band that I could do that with, and I think the only one that I could probably, although I didn't see them in any of the decades, was like U2 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the only other band I think I could probably do that with.
Nice.
Never again is what you swore the time before.
Time before. Yeah.
Bum, bum, ba-dum, bang.
Now no earworm. That's all I can hear.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Oh man.
So Ron, what are you? I mean, you're already like you always make these things so fast. I mean, they look so awesome.
Oh, but that's the problem. The simple form stuff is relatively. It's all those details that take all the time.
Yes.
You know.
Right.
So
Oh, Ron.
you know,
Preach the gospel.
Yes.
Oh, my shit takes so long.
So when you I'm sorry, Paul, go ahead.
No, I was just rabble rousing.
Rebel. So when I look at Ron's like technique, because he's getting what was a perfectly round thrown pot, and you start by kind of doing some impressions on it to make your skull. Is that what you do with your thumbs and stuff? And is that how you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just pressing
And
and kind of giving where I think I want it to go. You know.
Okay.
You know,
and then build up around that, and then detail out. So inside it, it's the you're okay. I get it now. Okay.
And I'm pushing. Sometimes I'll reach in and I'll push out that form also.
Okay.
So you know, it's a combination of things. You know.
That's a decent sized vessel. What would you call that pre-thrown or pre-sculpted? Is that a pot or a?
You know, if I left it like this, I guess it could be a pot or something like that.
Or like a whiskey jug.
Yeah, that's a whiskey cup for
like
me.
like an
right there.
unfinished whiskey jug that's going to be
Exactly.
Yeah, and there will be a spout built for this one. So you know, I'll finish that
Love
off, and then I'll have a handle too. So
Oh, perfect. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
So
good Lord.
let's start with kind of like where a lot of, I mean, obviously this is more fleshed out than what you have right there, Ron, but I mean this is kind of like, the kind of the beginnings of it before you would make it into something like this.
Yeah,
so
right.
like how long I'm sure we talked about it before, but it probably bears repeating. Like how long from this to this?
Good question.
Honestly, I would almost say that there's like a day, at least a full day of sculpting, and probably multiple hours even beyond that, just to detail, and then the glazing. I'll probably spend a full day on the glazing too.
Wow.
Oh wow.
And that's not including the firing time that's required to
Right.
to do the process.
So exactly what is glazing to somebody like me who's a complete moron when it comes to this kind of stuff? Is glazing like painting?
Somewhat. It's kind of like painting with a paint that you don't know what the color is exactly going to turn out to look like.
Oh, so it's like carving.
So you kind of have to. It's kind of one of these situations where you've got to do test pieces or test tiles and things of that sort of that glaze to go.
Really?
Oh, that's what it's going to look like. Now, what I like to do is kind of treat it like paint. So I'm mixing colors together. I'm trying to layer colors on top of other colors to kind of achieve a different kind of look. That's kind of my thing that I've tried to make as unique as I possibly can to try to do something like that. So, and
difficult.
So yeah, but going back to your question about glaze, I mean, it's going to be truly finely ground glass pigment. There's some fluxes in there to
language.
That's
This is a family show.
FLUX.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I got it.
So you know, in the mixture to do certain things. We've you know, whether we want a glossy finish like you see on the top, or something like towards the bottom, it's more closer to matte, but even with a slight sheen to it, I have to plan that out as I'm doing the piece.
Yeah.
So
And you say it's test pieces. Are you just kind of you're trying to you've got your piece ready to go, and then you're running a bunch of like little chunks of clay and putting them on. I mean, I meant little tiles, like you said. So then you're holding it up to different parts of the sculpt afterward to see if that's what you want to do. Is that how that works?
well, typically I make some small little vessels, if you will, and then I'll put some glaze on that. And then I have like a whole shelf of just colors that I've used, so I know how to go back to that color and achieve that color again.
Oh, okay.
So
it's formula.
So I have, yeah. So I've got all these here, and then I'll say, oh, this color looks like this on this clay, fired at this temperature, and you know, in this environment in the kiln. You know, what does it look like? Yeah. So that's when it becomes really complicated.
Is that why you don't finish any of them?
Truth be told, I hate glazing probably more than anything. It's fun. I mean, if you're in the right mindset, I'd much rather sculpt. Honestly, I'd much rather sculpt than do the other. But you know, it's never going to be complete until you get to the other end of it. And sometimes I do like to glaze. It's just I don't know. You know, I wish I had a good answer there.
Has there been a piece? Has there been a piece that you've done that you put in? You thought you had all the right formulas and stuff, and it turned out wrong. I mean, obviously, and you're basically your sculpt is ruined, right?
Yeah, unless the color, you can enhance the color back. Sometimes you can refire it and put new glaze on top and things of that sort. Now the bad thing about reglazing things is you're dealing with a finished piece, and if it's bisque, so if it's in that bisque form like we've talked about in the past, it easily takes the glaze. Now you refire something, it's kind of hard to get that glaze to put back on there for it to stay. And you're hoping that it's going to turn out, it's going to fix the problem that you created, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, Matt,
dice roll.
It's real easy.
A lot of times what you do, I mean, for myself, I've kind of got certain formulations that I know that work. And, you know, after I spent days on a piece, I don't want to take a risk with it. A whole lot of risk.
Imagine
that
way.
Way.
Get it right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. At that point.
You know, so that's exactly why I do all the test pieces and things of that.
Yeah, as I get into more like acrylic paints, they have a similar thing. Like there's a lot of like like texture paste and different just the different forms of like open, you know, opposed to the other stuff. So there's so I would imagine it's similar but different. Obviously, are the jars behind you? Are those glaze?
These are some underglazes that I have right here, and as I was saying, I try to kind of like palette mix those. So I'm treating them kind of like, as I said, acrylics or whatever, and just trying to come up with that. What is that good combination of mixing these two together to make it look like this? So that's kind of these are, as I said, these are pretty true. I mean, I have a whole board of these colors, what they look like fired, but they also, I know they're not going to move. That's a big deal. Meaning, is it going to run down the pot? If it runs down the pot, sticks to the shelf, you ruin it.
It's over.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Over. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So everybody's getting hungry because we're talking about glazing and bisque.
Not that kind of bisque.
Good point.
Hey, we got butternut bisque coming after this, but no different kind of bisque. Yeah. Hey, Ron, I can ask you about your drawings.
Yeah.
If you guys go to the Big Duluth and check out his Instagram, you probably have as many drawings as you do, or more, maybe even than your sculpts. Do you ever get inspired by doing some of these amazing drawings to do a sculpt? Does one say, "Oh my God, this would look perfect as a form"? Or does that ever get you in the mood to go sculpt after drawing?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, a lot of times when I'm doing this kind of stuff, I'm kind of like, I'm in that mindset. I'm like,
Okay.
that's where I'm at. I really, and sometimes, people fuss at me a lot because I go, why aren't you making this stuff? And I'm like, sometimes it's like, it's in my brain. I need to get it out,
Yeah.
in this way, not always, not always a sculpture or something like that.
Right. Right. Okay.
I don't know. I like the instant gratification that illustration brings. I can go, oh, I can accomplish this in an afternoon, instead of like, okay, not only that, but even with the pottery pieces, I feel like, because you can't just fire one of them, the kiln is large and it takes multiple shelves of, so you got to fill it up because it's going to spend a lot of energy and money to be able to run it. So
yes, yeah.
Wait, can I ask about that? What is it? Because I know kiln sizes and how they're powered. Is it gas powered? Is it electric powered? Or
mine's electric. There are gas that you can get. Propane. You can do. Wood fire if you're really ambitious.
Okay.
And like to chop wood.
No.
And that's seriously something that would take long periods of time. I mean, we're talking, months to prepare what you got to do on that.
Oh, okay. But when you say expensive, what does it cost to kind of run one? Is it a certain amount of hours you have to have it in there? This is how dumb I am about this stuff.
Well, I'll say that you're running about 50 amps for about 8 to 12 hours.
Wowza.
Yeah.
Okay. So big expenditure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty good size expenditure to be able to do that. So you got to make it worth its time, to accomplish something. And that's where pottery is a kind of a, it's a planning kind of thing,
Yeah.
On that.
Planning. Oh, I'm out.
Can't wing it.
No.
Yeah. Can't wing it. Forget it. That's my motto.
Can't wing it. Can't expect instant gratification. And things of that sort. That's those are the downsides to it.
Paul, stay here. Okay, stay here. Don't leave.
Paul's leaving.
Sorry, I deep broken. I see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you have something that will last this
that's the
throughout
thing.
Thousands of years technically potentially
Yeah, and that's a question that Michelle. I mean, you guys have gotten this question quite a bit, but it's still for people that haven't heard it. I mean, like they're wondering how you preserve your carvings and but it's again we always go back to it's about the picture. They're temporary, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it is, and Paul and I talked about this before, but it is just the temporary part of this is literally down to however good picture you take the minute you're done carving it, or very shortly thereafter, and then just expect that it's not going to be preserved at all. Just that's kind of how it works.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's okay. It's meant to be temporary. It's just a piece of food.
So I took a picture of the can from last week.
Yeah.
And I walked upstairs, I opened the trash barrel, and I deposited it. I should have recycled it, actually. Huh?
You should have.
I didn't even think of that.
They would have taken it.
They probably would have.
You should have made some butternut bisque out of it.
Some butternut bisque.
Glazed butternut squash.
Could have poured the glaze in the top and drank it out of the can.
So there's a question from McFrazzlestash. What did they use as fuel before gas? They use sod, Dad. No, that was from Vacation, right? When they went to Grand Canyon, which comes back to Paul's going to Grand Canyon.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah. What did they use?
Wood.
Wood. Yeah. Coal.
Yeah.
stone.
Yeah.
They used lava, Mickey.
Lava.
Back when there was no wood.
Right, back before wood.
Yeah.
You were brave enough to go into the near the volcano and
Yeah.
fire.
Exactly. You could get some really nice pieces. High temp.
You know what I want to know is how did the old, the ancient pottery makers afford their electric bill? If they had the electric,
Yeah.
that's messed up.
Exactly.
That's true. That's true.
Well, they just probably never got a bill because it would take a long time to get to them because there was
Good
no
point.
mail
True.
service.
They didn't
They hadn't
didn't have
invented
people.
electricity yet.
Yeah, can't pay anything online. Can't.
No, they had
That's the point.
they did have an auto pay feature back then.
Of course, yeah.
Of course.
But like you were talking about the drawings earlier, Matt. I mean, this is what Ron does when he's just testing out some new pens. Right? I think
love
that was the tagline or the caption on this one. You just had some new pens you were trying out.
Well, and I also have a pen problem too, as well as sculpting tools. So
Uh-oh.
All now for that. Oh man.
But I just love your style, Ron. It's,
Yeah,
I know.
I was gonna say the same thing.
When you do dogs, Ron, I swear there is 10 children's books like in every one of these pictures. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
They have such a personality.
well, I live with dogs, so they're I can pick things out about them, and it kind of I just translate it in, into that. So
I love it.
There's one here that I love that I have in my deck.
Yeah. This guy. I mean, this guy is a book in itself, right there. So cool.
So truth be told, I have dachshunds, and they're funny guys. Stupid dogs at times, but great fun.
I have a funny dachshund story that I can't tell on the air. But I'll just give you little tidbits that kind of illustrate why I can't tell it to you. So Pookie, the dachshund of a family friend, we were at Thanksgiving table and Pookie was entertaining himself right next, and then somebody yelled, "Hey, Pookie, stop that!" Pookie got up and started running, and the kickstand tripped the dog. If you know what I mean. Like,
I'm glad you didn't tell that story.
Thank God. But it was hilarious because we were sitting there having a nice dinner, and then we saw that, and he yelps and runs off. Anyway, good time.
You just went straight for dessert.
Oh no, yeah.
I'm so glad you didn't tell that story, man.
Yeah.
Me too. God, that would have been awful.
Yeah,
I
can't wait
kept that to myself.
You can't wait to hear it off air.
Looks
It'll be in my memoir. Befuddled zombie. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. Come on, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, for all of you watching, we are retiring befuddled for at least a year.
Yeah, there's no more befuddled.
Yeah.
It is.
Nothing with a B.
Right? We get the banned from the show.
We are so burned out and befuddled. Although now we have a clear grasp of that piece of the English language that we probably didn't know before.
Yeah. I had no
There's
idea what
definitely
befuddled was
befuddled.
before.
Because I'm making my own version of what I would think befuddled means. So
There you go.
Yeah. It's complete interpretation. That's the best part. We should start making up words. This is a skloinker. Oh, of course he's going to look like that.
That might catch on.
A snozzberry. What's a snozzberry?
I don't know, but they taste like snozzberries.
My buddy and I were talking. I don't know when this was, a few years ago. We came up with the term scroached. So it's a mix between scrambled and poached. eggs.
It sounds much worse, actually.
It sounds much worse.
I'm glad it ended up being that.
Yeah. Oh man, you got totally scroached at the used car lot.
You've been scroached.
Exactly. So that's you guys feel free to use that interchange it with any word in the language.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Free reign.
So the last time we talked to Ron, I think you were doing eyes. I think you were kind of getting into your eye phase and doing these little. Ah, there you go.
There they are.
Yeah.
The eyes have it.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. That's awesome.
Ron, you got to sell those to kids who are just not paying attention in class.
Yeah, that's right.
I would have killed for some of those glasses like that.
I finished my piece already.
There you go. Exactly.
You're done.
Complete.
There we go.
That's
It's done.
so
I'll just
befuddled.
snap in these teeth.
Yes, exactly. So that's one of the great things about your work, Ron, is your attention to detail. I mean, eyes are. I mean, people talk about hands being difficult. I can't imagine like eyes, and making them. I mean, this sounds like remedial, but like. Is there a difference between? I mean, it would have to be like where the tear duct is, obviously, but a difference between the right and the left. It's like, so you have to kind of do those type of things.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of it for doing or creating eyes. I mean, honestly, they are, and especially these particular ones. These are honestly test pieces just to kind of get an idea of how to do it, because really I haven't done them as well. Since I really spent all this extra time to make these eyes, it's incredibly complicated, to get the correct look. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
With an
eyes.
I agree with Ron on that. The eyes can make a break your sculpture.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Yeah, because and then your teeth are exquisite, and in fact, I think I even had my what my dentist gave me for my teeth, and I actually broke it yesterday. So good on me.
No.
But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do teeth. Crash.
Oh gosh.
Yes, but yeah, your teeth work it's so expressive and so awesome, and then the tongue is like super cool. And then
Mickey, one thing I'll mention too about the teeth and the mouth vessels and the pots and the Ron was the first and probably he's the OG. And in fact, I look back at when I started carving pumpkins, and he was the only place I could go, and it wasn't. I don't even know if it was on Instagram. Maybe I didn't even have it back then, but I would go and try to mimic one of his mouths on one of the pots all the time, and he was the only one doing this, and they're just like stellar. And I still to this day go to his site, and you can't type in Big Duluth without like Pinterest coming up and having hundreds of pictures too. So it's like, and it's all these amazing mouths with the perfect teeth and the expressions are insane. So
I agree. I used to do the same thing, Matt. I would steal from Ron. Ron, put your earmuffs on.
Yeah.
So thanks for the inspiration over the years, Ron. You've helped us hone our craft.
Hey, that's important. That's how you learn. I mean, it's not like we all figure something out. One little element. And things of that sort. So it's So yeah, that's cool, guys. Thank you. That's very, very thoughtful.
OG. This is the guy who started it
don't
all.
thank me. Thank you. I still steal from you. I love the gums. I love the gum work.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks. Well,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, please.
No, I was just saying, it's one of those things that, yet again, it took a long time. I wanted to do something, wanted to do it different, unique, and things of that sort. And it really, a lot of trial and error went into that, to try to come up with how to make it look the way I expect it to, and that's.
And when you look at that picture, Ron, it's like you're hard pressed to, if you zoomed away from any of those, to realize that those are cups.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's right.
It's staggering that those are yeah, there you go.
Do you have any of those sitting around that you want to kind of float my way?
Send to me. That's what
Some people ask for nudes. I ask for mugs.
Send mugs.
Send mugs.
Nice mugs. But to expand on Matt and Paul's point, so I had this friend who was who's unfortunately no longer around, but he was very influential in typography, and his teaching of it and his knowledge of it, and really inspired me quite a bit, because I'm a super typography nerd. Love it and use it all the time. And one of the things that I thought about after he had passed away was that, like, typography has been around for centuries, right?
Right.
And to make that big of an impression, in the 50 years that he was, here is quite impressive. So think about this, Ron. Your work with mouths is revolutionary in a time like the mouths have been around since humans have been around, right?
Yeah.
So that's very impressive. So I'm gonna further add more credibility to your work.
Adulation, baby.
You're the best thing since palette expanders.
And Ron, if you ever need a job, I got girls that need braces, so I'm sure you probably.
As I told you, as I mentioned to before, I said, I will be glad to do it, but they may never date again. So
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll tell them that.
You're solving all of Matt's problems.
This is good news. Don't forget.
Drew Smith going after Kentucky with those teeth.
Well, someone's got a Kentucky problem. I think that's it.
That sure is a pretty mouth. Yes, definitely. Laurette asking, do you sell these? Is there a place we can find your work?
I'm not going to pretend that I have like a whole, room full of these things. No, I have shelves of pieces I got to finish. But I probably have said that too many times.
Especially with the one you said you were going to give me.
Here he goes again.
Not
trying
mad.
To steal my piece.
Totally promised me. Go roll the tape, Mickey. You promised it to me.
But yes, I do sell them. I tend to honestly auction them. I get a lot of requests for pieces, and I will, typically list it on all my social media platforms to let people know that's out there. A lot of people some people don't like that, because I'm like, but there's only so many I only have a few mugs and more people wanting them. So it kind of just gives everybody a fair shake.
Yeah.
And that's the way I look about it, think about it, and things of that sort. So, it's my easiest way without promising somebody I can.
I like that. Yeah.
Something.
And these are one of a kind, only one production piece. I mean, I think we talked about this just yesterday. We were talking about some people who do, different types of molds and stuff like that. And if you do a mold of something, you can reproduce it, which is awesome. And it's its own thing. But to have a one-off piece is a really interesting part too, because when you purchase it, there is no other one on earth like it. It's its own NFT. If you guys know what those are.
I was just gonna. You stole the words right out of my mouth. I was gonna bring up NFTs because they're doing it digitally, but I think the I was trying to explain this to someone actually though that's older than I am about NFTs. They didn't understand it, and I said for a generation that's way behind us. Everything is digital, so these things are valuable. And artists are like getting paid like crazy money right now for NFTs.
That's funny that
So
you mentioned that, because a guy I know that's in that world
Yeah.
is begging me to let him have the rights to some of the old carvings to do that thing, like with a blockchain and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
really, oh
And
wow,
he's like,
yeah,
the money you could be making, and I'm like, what?
dude, embrace it, embrace it.
Have him call make Paul. We'll talk about that. When
I
you
will
get here.
broker it. I'll broker it. Don't tell anybody else. Shut up.
I already got a deal going. Trust me, he jumped out.
I don't want to work anymore. Let's.
Yeah, I mean, he made it sound interesting, but I feel like a buffoon, like, you know, the Adam Sandler skit, like,
we'll be rich buffoons.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
Yeah.
you're excited about it.
It's a bit of a kind of a weird concept to wrap your head around, but once you do, the possibilities of it are kind of like, and it could pop. You know, the bubble could pop at any time, but I'm also in like sports cards, and sports cards right now are like way like they're 3 to 5 times like what they were worth 2 years ago. So yeah. So it's interesting. It's interesting how like the pandemic kind of really kind of made other stuff like NFTs like possible, because people are not going out and spending as much, or and doing as many things. There's people have money to burn. So I mean,
Really?
the first article I saw was a guy sold something for like he bought it for like 45,000, sold it for like 16 million. Like
Wow.
That's a good
crazy.
return.
Crazy, yeah. And it's
I'm
just
no
like
math expert, but that's
yeah. So it's kind of crazy what is going on now. I'm not saying that it's the future, but who knows?
All right, that's good to know. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's has to happen soon.
Yeah, Paul
Baron.
will talk.
Yes, well, maybe we'll make it a whole group thing.
Yes.
And when we're rich, we'll remember you, Ron. I'll remember that you send me that whiskey mug you promised me last time.
Yep. Good stuff. So wow, we're already an hour in already. So
wow. Lord.
let's go around. Matt, do you want to show us what you're working on, Matt?
yeah. I guess so.
Oh wow!
Can you see this?
Wow.
So this is my
Nice.
befuddled guy. Man, this is not very good. Here, let me do it here. Let me just try this.
Okay.
I don't know why my camera. Go to Paul for a second. Let me see if I can work this out.
All right.
Thanks,
Don't
Paul.
look at me. Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, I already punched through in 2 spots, so I gotta find a way to make that work.
Oh, and yeah, got the tongue in there too. You don't do very many tongues in your work, do you?
No, I don't like to show off, Mickey. You know what I mean? or expose my weakness. Yeah.
Oh, hey, ooh.
Hey yo.
I love it.
I mean, I'm trying to carve a little quicker than normal. That's why I ended up, having a couple boo-boos. That, for those watching, can easily be solved with some shavings.
Mm-hmm.
You get the fine shavings, you can almost work it in like clay to hide it at the end. So don't ever worry about punching through. I mean, unless you knock the whole eye out, and then you're gonna have to make a new eye.
Yeah.
But little boo-boos can be hidden.
That's awesome.
All right, Mickey, I got mine back. So
There you go. Look
a
at
little
that.
better.
Oh,
So
I love it.
I had a really long one. So this is how he looked when I started.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. But yeah, I wanted to have his jaw kind of coming unhinged a little bit. So I don't know how I'm going to work that out over here, but I think I'll probably move some of this skin, but he's going to be befuddled.
Yeah.
He's looking befuddled. He's got a great cartoon expression. I love it.
Totally.
All right, Ron.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there
Oh
you
my
go.
God, dude, you're a lot further.
I don't know.
That's how he
It's-
started, though. That's what it
It's coming
started.
along.
Yeah,
He
I
cheated.
love it. His mouth is already befuddled. That is a befuddled mouth. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, I love the lip, too.
Yeah.
I was thinking a little bit, kind of reminded me a little bit of the Twilight Zone episode, with the nurse, the revealing
Yeah,
face,
the crooked face there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great.
Oh, thanks.
So, can I call dibs? No. Before Matt. That's great.
Your eggs are done.
That's the sound of
I
me
know.
calling dibs. That was me calling him there.
You call him off the side.
You've already ordered it. That's
that was the sound of me ordering it. Yeah, exactly.
Your order is being prepared now.
That's the eBay notification that you're the high.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, now I just gotta try and turn this thing into a zombie.
Hey Mick, are there anyone else out there carving along with us? Because I know sometimes
that's a very good question. I didn't see anybody.
they don't have to show them to us, obviously. Not that they could,
yeah,
but we do want to know if you're carving with us.
yeah, and if anybody has any questions too, I mean, this is a good time to ask any questions to the carvers or myself. I'll answer a question for you. The fastest land animal, the cheetah.
Not true. Oh, land animal. Oh. My son told me it's a falcon. A peregrine falcon.
Peregrine
Wow,
falcon.
There you go.
Oh.
Yes.
Nice.
What is that? What is that line from?
What?
What is the fastest land animal? The cheetah.
It sounds like something from The Office.
No, it's actually a movie.
All right, what movie is that? What are we talking about?
Airplane.
Is it?
Oh,
Yeah, it's the information booth, and then he was just answering questions, and then someone went up and asked him, "What's the fastest land animal?" And he goes, "The cheetah." There you go. What's everybody's favorite dinosaur?
there we go.
A pterodactyl.
Wasn't that a Was Not
Exactly.
Was song? Everybody walk the dinosaur.
Yeah. Open the door. Get on the floor.
There you go. Super dated ourselves on that one.
Growing up, mine was a Triceratops.
Oh, very nicely done.
now it's a Lickalotopus.
Oh,
Hi-yo.
Hey yo! When it says, make sure you hit the beep button on that one.
yeah. Please.
We'll
God.
edit that out in post.
A Tyrannosaurus.
I know
Wow.
there's a Megasaurus.
Yeah. Megasaurus. Oh man.
Yeah,
Terrible people we are.
I don't think dinosaurs.
Not a dinosaur fan, huh?
Well, I mean, the only one I'm trying to think of from the Flintstones, Dino.
Dino.
I always hated dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I
They
did
make me
like
so
the show
mad.
Dinosaurs. That Perry was on.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 2019, I think the Toronto Raptors.
Oh God,
Ooh.
not the Raptors. We don't talk about the Raptors. Canadian.
Hey, speaking of basketball, how's Paul Pierce doing lately?
Better than you. Better than all of us, I think.
Yeah, right. Living
He's
that
having parties.
I had a friend who was talking about James Harden, about how he actually, I can't remember the exact conversation, but it's something to the effect of that he does really bad in cities with a high population of gentlemen's clubs. So a lot of people are lobbying to get him like traded to Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
So he won't be good anymore.
Arizona State grad right there.
That's right. Trying to think of I'm trying to think of who else was from Arizona State that's of note.
Braun,
Ike Diagu. the other name.
Who is that?
right?
Ike Diagu went there.
Mike Diagu.
Ike.
Ike?
That doesn't
Anyway.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Gronk went there.
Oh, Matt, I was going to ask you. Speaking of
Bronco
Arizona State,
Yeah.
Andy Ingram.
Yeah.
Do you remember Andy Ingram?
Yeah. Are you listening, Andy? Go ahead.
Yeah. well, didn't you tell me that he became Matt's brother was friends with a guy named Andy Ingram in grade school or high school, sorry. And
Grade school too.
yeah. And he wound up being one of the three owners of Four Peaks Brewing.
Yeah, and they got bought by Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah, they got bought.
Doing okay.
Yeah, they're like a big, huge brewery now. I was just
He's
telling
probably,
somebody that.
he's probably hanging in there. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably has a few bucks here. Maybe
probably
he can get one of Ron's mugs.
I don't know. Even with a guy with a lot of money, you're not going to get Ron to make him one.
Ron does it for the love, not the money.
That's true.
Oh, everybody's so intense.
I thought this thing was going to be a little thicker than it turned out to be, but
I never went back to the split screen. What a douchebag. I
don't think you ever went to the split screen.
know.
Oh, here's a good one. What's the worst movie you've ever seen?
Xanadu.
Wow, I saw Xanadu in the movie theater, and it was pretty bad.
It wasn't even that bad because I love Olivia Newton-John, like most heterosexual males in the world.
Yeah.
The moment they went to animation with the fairies, like the little fly, for no reason at all, it lost me. And sometimes I like when it goes to animation, but this one, and it's one of my wife's favorite movies too, and I tried to give it.
Oh, really?
And it cemented the fact that that is just a dung heap of an hour and a half that you can't get back. Except for the song at the end. All right, I'll deal with the song, but I don't need to watch a movie to hear the song.
Ron, how about you? What was your least favorite movie?
I mean, I like bad movies to a certain point, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, because I would say if you wanted a bad movie that I like, Troll 2.
Oh my God! Okay.
That was not bad. That was one of my favorite movies. That should have won the Academy.
I mean, oh gosh.
Was it like actually, you know what's another one, Ron? Have you watched the new one that came out on HBO Max with Jared Leto and Denzel Washington?
What is it?
You guys know the one I'm talking about? Pretty Little Things?
Oh no.
I haven't seen that.
It was. That's up there with Xanadu.
Oh
gosh.
The only way that movie could have been a little bit better is if it had an animated scene. What's your favorite bad movie? Like one that's so bad but you love it and you could watch it over and over again.
Ooh, that's a good question. That's really good. The Room.
Oh wow,
that
you actually saw the whole thing?
I did. I went to the theater and saw it. Like,
you saw it in the theater?
In Tucson, there's a place called The Loft, and they played it on purpose because it's terrible. It's like Tommy Wiseau and the whole like, hey guy, all that.
Yeah.
Terrible acting, but yeah, we went and saw it with my nephew and knowing what we were up for, but plenty of bad acting there. But you can see it again and again just because it's so bad. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Mickey?
McFrazzlestash says, I'm literally holding my Troll 2 DVD. Nice.
That's awful.
And Amy says, yeah, the only good part was Gene Kelly. There was actually there was somebody in that movie who was actually in a lot of the Breakin' movies, like Breakin' 1, Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shabadoo. He just passed away recently.
Shabadoo was in it?
Yes, he was. They had a whole breakdancing crew in it.
Oh, that's right.
Wow.
They did.
Yep. So if you go back and watch that big scene,
No.
Yeah,
No.
I want you to go back and watch it.
Watch that friggin' movie again.
Sit down with your wife.
Olivia Newton-John is worth watching it. She looks great in it.
I like watching that movie only to give her the look. Like every time there's that part I hate, I just look at her and she's singing along and she loves it. She really genuinely likes it. And I just enjoy ruining that moment for her. It's not any better than the last time. Like it's not going to sink in. It's not going to take me over like heroin. Like I'm not just going to fall in love with this movie.
I know what movie we're watching when you guys get here.
Xanadu.
Xanadu.
I'll listen to the song over and over. I do. The song's great.
I know another
But-
good bad movie.
Okay.
Birdemic. If you've never
Haven't heard
heard
of
of
that.
Birdemic,
Never heard of it.
check it out because it's really bad. It's really like
It's-
it was shot on an iPhone maybe or less than an iPhone. You know, it's
Oh wow.
terrible,
Okay.
terrible movie. But also one that actually had some actors that you would know who they are, and we laugh at this because I'm a big fan of like riff tracks and MST3K.
Oh yeah, me too.
But we watched Cool as Ice, the Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
Oh,
movie.
hell yeah.
Yes, that's hero. Get with the hero.
And boy, that's really bad.
Leave Rob Van Winkle alone.
He's got street cred. He was shot, right? The whole deal. He was shot,
He was
so he has street
yeah.
cred.
He was shot out of a cannon.
How about How about Sergeant Pepper's featuring?
Oh my gosh, I
And
saw that one in the movie theater too.
That's
that
one of my
was-
favorite bad movies,
Oh yeah, that is a great. That's a great one.
and it's got tons of stars. Steve Martin
right.
doing Bang Bang Maxwell.
Yeah,
Steven Tyler, Alice Cooper,
Oh,
that was
wow.
like Peter Frampton, right? Peter
Peter
Frampton.
Frampton and the Bee Gees.
Right.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Geez, you got this so Burns, George Burns.
Yes, right.
Sounds like a regular Muppet movie.
You never saw you never saw that movie?
I don't think so.
You don't know what you're missing.
Oh my god, it's
Billy
it's,
Preston.
it's a cavalcade of like just. I mean, you think it's going to be great, and it's just like goes nowhere. It's really awful.
It's all cameos.
Yeah, right.
They all sing the songs. It's like a musical. Dude, it is so worth the watch. And then when
Okay.
you're done, you go, why did I just watch that again?
Again and again.
Again.
It's like those cookies at 10 o'clock at night. I don't want them, but I got to have it.
Yeah.
So this is awesome. So I actually have three, but
Nice.
I'll go with the one that Kiss Phantom of the Opera
Oh yeah. I've
or
seen that.
Phantom of the Park
Phantom
or
of the
something
Park.
like that.
Yeah.
Shot at
Right.
Magic Mountain.
Right. And okay, so then that one is terrible. But yeah, it's Kiss, so it's awesome. This you talked about George Burns, who remind me of Oh God Book 2.
Book
Yeah.
2 with John Denver.
That's right. All right, and I remember seeing Oh God, and I remember being okay. at
I
the
heard that
time.
was the last thing he said before he hit the side of the moon.
Oh.
But my last one is an awesome one because, okay, so I remember this movie. We were actually, oh my god, I might have to change it, but I'll keep it with this one. So when I think I was like 6 years old. Let me look at how old. Yeah, no, I would have been. I would have been 8. Okay, so we went to see this movie that was called Homps, HAWMPS. It was actually. Do you remember this, Ron? Ron, you're looking like you no.
No.
Okay, it was supposed to be a comedy, and it was about I think like was it the Civil War or something like that, where they used like camels. It was a totally
crazy.
a totally insane premise, but it was actually had like Denver Pyle, Jesse from Dukes of Hazzard in it,
Yeah.
and some other named comedians at the time. But then it was a double feature, and there was a movie called it was actually called Laser Blast.
I have
And the
seen
only reason why I know this is because I remember the movie in my head. Like I go, this movie is like ridiculous. Like it's really dumb and it's like claymation. And it was about like space. And I had no idea what this movie was until Mystery Science Theater did a thing on Laser Blast. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the movie that I couldn't remember when I was 8. So if you look it up, it's got 15 on Rotten Tomatoes, 15% on
wow.
Rotten Tomatoes. But yeah, it is a wreck of a movie.
I have something interesting about that.
Yeah.
The band, the Aquabats. Okay.
Yeah, I know the Aquabats.
So they have done some little YouTube shorts, and they actually have the claymation aliens from Laser Blast
What?
in an episode.
Oh my god. My world has come full circle.
Oh my goodness.
I know of the Aquabats because of Yo Gabba Gabba. You know, Yo
I
Gabba
know
Gabba?
them from the 90s, and then I found their show, and I just absolutely love it.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting down in the weeds with some of these names. This is great. Everybody knows who they are, though.
I know. Yeah, we're definitely hitting our demo.
Yeah.
our demo way. Well done.
If you like Ministry and the Aquabats, watch our show.
That's right.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 nondescript bands approve it.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
This is interesting. Jay puts his comment. Fun fact: Ron watched Oh God, Book 2 in the middle school library. He may or not remember this.
I do
Why wouldn't
remember
you
that.
remember?
You do?
And not that I remember. I mean, not that it stands, but I remember us doing that, going to the library, and they would sell us popcorn. See, me and Jay
Right.
have been to schoolmates for a long time. Not gonna,
Nice.
So,
So like you
That's
guys.
awesome.
But actually, Jay doesn't have a lot of credibility here because
Well.
walked out of Spaceballs.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
Yeah, you lost me there, Jay.
But
That's funny.
I will admit, at first, as being a big Spaceballs, Star Wars fan, but also a Hardware Wars
yeah.
fan.
I remember that.
Yeah, because I thought like, oh, Hardware Wars is much better than this. So I did a similar thing.
Mickey, you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll kiss $4 goodbye.
That's right.
That was the tagline.
That was a very very. We watched that like Mr. Hughes, right?
I believe so.
He had a screening of it, and we had a screening of it in grade school of Hardware Wars.
Oh wow!
Are you familiar with that?
Oh,
I'm
me?
not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I am. Oh yeah.
Are you Paul?
I'm under 50. I would love to say yes, I just don't know.
It was just like this little short film that these guys made, and it made the rounds, and people like I don't even know how it even got around.
Was it like a spoof on Star Wars kind of?
Yeah, 100%. It was just, and it was there was Augie Ben Doggy.
All right.
God, I can't remember.
It was terrible. It was just terrible.
It was terrible, but it was funny for the times. And instead of they had like an iron going across, it looked like the Millennium Falcon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was meant to be bad, and like they did like the scene where they go on the little Luke Skywalker's little thing that he drives on. It was like they just had on a beach, and stuff like that. It was really stupid, but it was funny at the time.
I think I
Hardware
have
Wars.
heard of it. I think
Yeah, it's just dumb.
I like them.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
In fact, I saw it recently, and it's still worth watching because it's just like nostalgic, but it wasn't as bad as people make it out to be, or we were making it out to be.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yes.
Damn
Well,
straight.
I'll watch Xanadu again. I just,
Right. What could be worse than that?
yeah.
I finished
question.
this Modern Times Dark Dank, and it's not bad. I might actually be becoming a fan of IPAs. But
So, if you ever come out here, Matt, Modern Times has a couple of places, including in downtown LA, the Dankness Dojo.
oh,
Yeah, so
Ooh,
I definitely try to make it out there whenever I go near the Staples Center, and then they also have a place in Anaheim that they just opened, and it has like a pool and everything. Perfect.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, perfect during the pandemic to let's
switch
go
the water,
swimming
open
and
it.
drink beer.
Yeah, but they say COVID can't live in chlorine. They can't swim.
Well,
Right.
let's have our beers in the pool then. Let's do it.
That's it. Good reason to keep the pool cold.
That's right. Keep the beers and the and then you can't feel me peeing on you. You know, his pee is warm. Pee is warm. Yeah, that's why.
You peeing? No, I'm just dumping out my beer.
Yes, Drew. Dankalicious, 100%. It's definitely worth it. Modern Times is one of those breweries that you should definitely seek out. If you ever see their beer, definitely check it out. I'm glad that you like it, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, do they only make IPAs?
No, their beers are very they're all over the place. They have a great variety.
All right.
Whatever, dude.
Come on, whatever you say. Don't go there. Oh.
So we've gone an hour and 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's as
Ron.
always, it goes super fast.
Yeah, every time we're on with Ron, Mickey, blaze through some of his stuff so everyone can see what an amazing artist this guy is. Because I know you've got other stuff on there. And enough about us. You know, for God's sake, we suck. Let's see Ron's stuff.
Why are you gonna say I suck? I didn't do anything.
No, we as in me. I'm the royal we. Yeah, me. Yeah.
What the hell?
He speaks for you all.
He does.
Yeah, so just
I love these.
just
That's awesome.
beautiful,
I love the
beautiful,
clothing too. It's crazy.
so good. I love this. I mean, this. If I had to choose one, I would definitely get this one.
This poor guy. Yeah, it's like you feel bad drinking out of him. Come on, pal.
This is my morning every morning.
This is my very first mug that I designed like what I use now.
Oh, that's
wow.
so cool.
And this is like 2010.
Ah,
So it's
Wow.
super old. Super old.
yeah.
And really poorly made, really, if I really think about it.
Oh, I mean,
If you're ever looking to get rid of it, I mean,
most things that were made in 2010 were super. In fairness.
Oh, it's funny because I saw pictures of my early stuff today and I almost threw up. So
Yeah.
Not because of the quality, you just weren't feeling well, right?
yeah, exactly. Terrible cold.
And then these are shot glasses, so they're big here, but they're actually smaller, right?
Oh yeah, they're literally probably about they're like maybe a shot and a half, I would say.
Oh wow.
So basically, from the head up, they're a form that you can pour into, and then basically from this point down, it to stabilize it, it's going to be solid down there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, those are one of my favorites.
So there's a question. What made you start doing face mugs, Ron?
I've always been enamored with faces, so I do that with my illustrations, and so it was kind of like, well, that just kind of seemed natural to be able to do something like that. And I've seen people do things with faces on clay, and I really thought that was really unique, and I really liked the idea. But I was like, hey, let's translate what my illustrations look like. Let's do that. Let's try to come up with how it looks like that.
I mean,
sorry?
Matt and I have talked about it before. How you have a style when you illustrate and when you sculpt, it's the same style, which
you can tell it's yours.
Really difficult to carry through.
Yeah,
So
we tell it's yours every time.
Yeah, except for the one that I don't have that you promised me.
You'll never hear the end of that, Ron.
I will never live this down.
I wish on the wheel we got Dead Horse because I would have beat the shit out of it.
Well, I tell you what, you guys come down to Georgia, man, and I'll teach you how to use that, and we'll stay a couple days and we can fire some stuff. So,
all right.
You're on.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. First one to Georgia gets the cup.
Hey, Maddie, you know what I heard that behind that awesome, gracious offer was, I'm not finishing anything. You got to do it yourself.
Yeah, you're making it. You're making it. Yeah.
Good man.
No, I would love to see you guys do something in clay that we could actually fire. That would be really great.
Oh, that would be fun. How fun. I love this one. Yeah, this is a tremendous one.
This might be my favorite, and not just the sculpt, the finish.
The finish is crazy
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
It's the whole thing. Just there's so many things going on with it.
Well, I started doing these like wooden handles, which are not wood; they're clay.
Right.
But just kind of a unique something different to do into that. And I don't know. I got a thing for octopi, and I like skulls, so I'm like, let's put them all together. So
Perfect.
I agree. I'm like fascinated by the tentacles and just the flow and how they all move together and through. Such a cool thing. Yeah, you nail it. It's awesome.
Yeah, the complete lack of bone and the only bone, like the hard and the soft, like perfectly together.
Super cool. Great
Matt,
combination.
Matt, if you're looking for a birthday present from me,
That's the one. All right.
no good.
So Matt, you said you weren't good at math, so I actually did the math for you. So
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Mickey
actually,
knows.
Ron was on 27 weeks ago. So you have another 27 weeks before we can haze you again. So you will be on Carvers and Creators episode 66.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah. So by that time, the shaming will continue probably.
The shaming will continue. Yeah. I need that in some ways,
until morale improves, right?
Yes,
that's right.
Definitely. All right, so let's go around the horn. Who wants to go first, Matt or Paul?
Sure.
Okay, Matt, let's do it.
All right, I'm going to do this time. Come on, you son of a... It has my hand. Okay, well...
Put it full close to the camera first. And let it focus, and then...
Yeah, there you go.
The dog's going
Who let the dogs out?
So, Paul, go ahead. Yeah. All
right.
right. So this is my guy. Now, pretty rough, but I'm going to try to figure out how to unhinge his jaw, make it look a little bit more realistic, and then give him some kind of goofy, cartoony eyes that are more like confused or befuddled.
Befuddled.
Yeah, befuddled.
Nice.
But yeah. But then I'm gonna trim this way the hell down on this jaw so it's not round, so it's more of a zombie, decayed jaw, and I think I'll pull some teeth out. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? There we go.
This is Lincoln. I got it, man.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Wow. I don't know. I'm working on it. I don't know if you'll ever see the finished product because you have to catch a very early flight in the morning, but
yes,
I may try and work on it a little more. But Maddie, check it out. Oh. I never bust.
You know what? You made it work though. You made it work with how those gums. Yeah,
well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, a lot of times people get discouraged when you bust through. Like if you bust through in the right spots, if you've been careful and you hit the deep spots, then you're gonna hide it because you want it to be dark anyway. Right? So you kind of just make sure there isn't all that schmutz hanging out. You gotta you gotta make it like a black void and not just this hairy.
Right. You gotta have it hanging down.
Yeah. So the harder part becomes cleaning it out. But
Paul, you're gonna put a little polish on it.
Oh. Whoa, Mickey from the top rope.
Big elbow.
I got you.
That's a suplex right there, Mickey.
Mickey Superfly Snooker.
Well, actually, it used to be a derogatory term. We used to have this guy named Paul that would come and wreck all of our work. So everybody we have to polish it. Paul. Because the man's name was Paul. Yeah. Ron, what do you got?
Oh, I like the reveal.
The hang going on. Oh, it's disturbing. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
That is great.
Coming along fast. See, clay is so much more fun to work with, I feel like sometimes. Not that these are, but like additive sometimes, because you can just be like, you know what? I'm going to throw a little something on right here. Because I'm like, maybe I'll glue something on in an hour and a half. Figure out the rest of it if there's time.
Well, you got to think about it like this, though. Any extension off this thing, if when it's fired, is it going to be fragile? Is it going to break?
Right.
That. So those are other factors you got to think about. Once you're finishing
What about
it
handles?
off.
What about handles? Are those fragile? Because I always feel like they would be.
Oh yeah. Until they're fired and glazed, but and they still can break, but you're always taking that risk until it gets to the point that you can actually fire it to completion. Then it's got some substantialness to it,
It's such a crazy process.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to do an episode live from Ron's house.
All right. We're hitting the road.
Come on,
There is gonna be a Carvers and Creators road trip.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mick, we're making you drive.
I'll drive. Actually, my girlfriend will drive. She can go like 8 hours straight.
Right
And
on.
we can just
Oh, wow.
we can just sit back and drink. All right.
Nice.
Exactly.
Let's get the graphics going for the bus. We'll figure out how we're gonna get a bus later.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
We're gonna get the whole thing wrapped. Right. Yes. Love it.
Partridge Family style.
Perfect. I need more work.
Nice school bus. That's
Yeah. We're gonna,
Oh my God, such good times.
So that is our show for this week. We will be back next Thursday with another Carvers and Creators. Please check us out at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. Like and subscribe. It's that easy. That's all the support we need right now, right? Wow. Look at Matt.
Well, you can spend money. I mean, that's fine if you want to donate.
yeah.
Definitely.
Anonymous.
Send us your NFTs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or NF safes for works, whatever they call it.
And NSFWs too. Yeah. Whatever you say.
Let's just cut out the middleman to send us cash.
There we
Literally.
go.
Yeah,
Why waste all your time?
I'll even take
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Definitely. So, did you guys have anything? Oh, actually, let me ask Ron. Ron, where can we see you and your work?
On Instagram primarily. At the Big Duluth is my handle there, and also on Facebook as the Big Duluth Creative Studios.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Fantastic. Matt.
Mine are all at the Big Duluth Creative Studios on Facebook. Or no, just follow Ron. I mean, if you're not following Ron, you're saying he's awesome.
I agree. I
Yeah.
100% agree.
Well,
Paul.
thanks, guys.
Well, I'd like to follow up Matt and say that guy right there. See him?
Yeah.
Right over there.
Okay.
Follow him.
There
But follow
you go.
him and him too. And if you get
I
around
will
to it,
never
most
be able to
people
get my.
follow me anyway. Follow me, follow Matt, follow Ron, follow Mike, follow Carvers and Creators.
There we go. That's the show we're on. That's right.
So, Carvers
You know
and
where
Creators.
to call you Mike. That's it. I can never call you Mike again. You're Mickey.
All right. I'm good with that. I'm not.
Plus-
It's funny. Everybody defaults to Mike. So that's why I actually do Michael. And only my friends know me as Mickey.
Well,
Again,
good. I'm glad. Plus, being from Boston, we
Right.
take our R and throw it in the garbage. The garbage. But we also add a Y to any of our friends' last
course.
any of our friends' names, even when it doesn't belong. If you have a friend named Zach, you're like, Zachy, what's up? That
Zachy.
doesn't make sense. You're a Zachy. Let's go to the Packy.
Let's go to Packy, Zachy. Get some tobacco.
Oh,
Ron,
hey,
thank you
that'd
so much. Thank you so much for joining
no,
us
thank
tonight.
you.
It's been a
Thank you.
pleasure. We definitely
Same
want you back. You already are scheduled
Thanks.
for episode 66, but we actually want you probably before that to know what you're doing.
Well, thank you.
Hopefully we can get out there there. That might be on the road segment as well. That'd be fun. And we can go check out a Braves game.
That's what we got to do. Is every time we go to a city, we go to a ball game and we spend the afternoon with the guests.
There you go.
I
That's
got.
it.
I
That's
have
an
been
idea.
in Fenway, so whenever you guys want to do the episode from my way,
My arm is being twisted.
yes. It looks like you were chicken wing in there for a minute.
So definitely check us out. Next Thursday, we will be back with another Carvers and Creators. Thank you so much for Paul and Matt. Thank you to Ron, and we will see you next week. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Night, everybody.
See you guys. See you, Paul.